What's up, friends? Welcome to where James and I spend 70 to 80% of our day. The whole reason we moved into this apartment is so we can have a second bedroom that we can transform into an office. I want to do a full office 360 tour video somewhat soon, but for today, we are going to focus on the office. As soon as you walk into the office, you'll see this cool rectangle. What is that rectangle, you may ask?
What is that rectangle, Christina?
Thank you, James. This rectangle is a hook, and I take my book bag and I hang it up. Honestly, I didn't think that this would turn out as cool as it did, but the whole point of the office is to be as efficient as possible, and the book bag hanging up was a great idea on my end. High five, Christina. James and I are by no means minimalist, but the vibe that I was going for in this office was both efficient and neat. The thing with myself is I like to plan with sticky notes and pens, and when I do that, it actually becomes a train wreck in here, but being able to have a place for that in my drawer, where at the end of the day, I can just clean off my desk and it's back to square one. That way the next day I can have a creative brainstorm session, ruin everything all over again. It has been a huge deal to me. I'm obsessed with plants, so I have to have my vines. We have one right over there, and then this cactus, his name is Jerky. Our friends Bryce and Nelly gifted him to me. I haven't been able to put him in the white pot because he's very pokey, so he just lives in there. This shelf right here is home to all of our gear and all of our charging equipment. This is what I call the charging station. Very, very unique, eclectic name. I came up with it myself. Charging station. And this shelf right here is home to our podcasting stuff. This is just nice prints. I might add a couple other different types of things right there, but our podcasting gear, we'll talk more about that a bit later on in the video, but this is where our podcast mics are, and up here is our Zoom H6 recorder where we capture all of our audio. Something I struggled with in brainstorming the ideas of how to make this office look good is this back wall behind me. Initially, I wanted to move this shelf over here and then put 2 prints on the back wall. I went as far as designing the prints, and clearly I am not a graphic designer, mad respect to them. James suggested putting a second shelf right here because we have a ton of these shelves.
I sure did.
Yeah, and number 1, it's a great idea because it looks freaking nice.
Yes, it is.
And number 2, it's a great idea because it is home to all of the gear that we use the most often. Remember, I mentioned efficiency and neatness? Neatness, is that a word?
Sure.
Efficiency because... Neatity. Efficiency because we can just grab the whatever that we need off the shelf. We have a couple broken cameras on here that we haven't been kind to our cameras in the last year, so these are just for aesthetic purposes. But yeah, it's great to be able to grab whatever we need, grab whatever batteries we have charged. One of my biggest freaking pet peeves, and I get on James about this all the time, is when we have 1,000 batteries and none of them are charged. So charging station solves that problem for us. It is almost 10:45 while filming this. James has to film his said podcast, which, really quick, James, I have to mention, one of the reasons that he likes having these shelves here is because selfishly, he has his own channel, and it's really important to him to have the right vibe, which I respect. And yeah, the shelves achieve said podcast channel look. So I'm going to pause recording this video. You'll see a little bit of what James's setup looks like, and then we will hop back into the video to end it. I don't know why I just spun.
Okay, thank you so much for spending some time with me. How are you doing today?
I'm doing outstanding, and it's an honor to be here. Thanks for having me.
Well, it's an honor to have you on.
This right here is where all of the magic happens. This is where James's desk is. Mine is right there. He actually set up his monitor for the first time in like 3 years just to edit faster. He says that it helps him edit faster, so whatever he thinks, I think he's right.
What?
All right, we basically get all of our apartment stuff from IKEA, which is great because everything ends up matching. These are both sit-stand desks from IKEA, and down there is the Alex drawer, which is just a drawer for putting things in. I wouldn't quite describe our cable management as our pride and joy of the office, but we're doing our best. If you have any suggestions, please leave them in the comments below because I'd like this to be a little bit neater. This is a tripod. I use it for when James can't film me, and I'll keep it right there. Stay. I mentioned our podcast earlier in the video, so the setup is going to be completely different from what the office looks like right now, but it's going to be in the office. Stand by for a video to see what our podcast setup ends up being because I'm kind of skeptical about it, but at the same time, I'm very excited. Last but not least, I want to give myself a freaking high five because honestly, this looks really good. James had some part of it too. He typically vetoed some of the decisions that I made, and that's just the story of our creative relationship, which always ends up with a better result. Sometimes frustration, but always definitely a better result. I don't have anything else to say. James, do you have anything else to say?
I like our office. It's my favorite office yet.
Yeah, I like it too. It's a good vibe. It's our first office yet.
Technically, it's our first room that is an office yet.
Yeah,
You're correct.
True. Our last office apartment tour was basically our entire apartment being an office. We had a 1-bedroom apartment with like 6 different desks. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We still have a lot of desks. But yeah, that's it. If you guys enjoyed this video, if you're new around here, hit subscribe, comment below, especially comment below some cord organization techniques because I need that information. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a fantastic day, night, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. Goodbye.